Guess who's back? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Platania, owner of ProCalcs and founder of ProCalcs University. I have some pictures to show you of places that you were only can dream of, and also some of the great stuff that ProCalcs University has coming up to help educate you about your HVAC and your home comfort. See you soon. All right, so welcome back. I'm Tom Platania, one of the owners of ProCalcs and founder of ProCalcs University. Well, I tell you, it is great to be back doing some of these YouTube videos to help our team out. You know, my wife and I, after a long time of building this company up, we needed to take a little bit of a break, a little breather, and be able to step back. And luckily, because of the foundation that we created with bringing people on into our company with their work ethic. Boy, it's not even late in the day. I haven't even started drinking yet. Their work ethic and just how they think and their kindness and their just really helped to keep the company on the track that we had originally wanted to go, and I think we were there. So we were able to step back and we took an absolute amazing vacation. But when we got back, we decided to step back in and help out. You know, it's funny. Everybody talks about wanting to retire, and I tell you, unless you have an unlimited pocketbook where you're just millions and millions and millions of dollars, or you really skimp it out, you know, you got to find something to keep your mind going, because it's just crazy. I mean, I didn't have to. I took up cooking. So now I'm cooking all kinds of things, beef Wellington and chocolate souffles and my own pizza dough, my own bread, my own, banana bread last night. I mean, just all kinds of stuff, but you got to keep your mind occupied. And I wanted to get back into ProCalcs, wanted to help the team to get ProCalcs and ProCalcs University out there again, but also to help keep my mind sharp and occupied, keep up with the industry, and go from there. But first thing I want to show you guys is I want to talk about this trip that we went on, because it was just most of our friends that we talked to. My wife's got thousands of people on there, and she calls them friends. I think most of her acquaintances and some of her friends, but just people just, I can't believe, oh my God, you got a chance to do that, and so it's the truth. I mean, it's something that most people only dream about, and I'm talking about this even though this is ProCalcs and we should be talking about HVAC, but I wanted to share this with you. I want you, I want to be able to get personal with you guys and talk about my struggles when it comes to the business, and what people communicate with us about their struggles in their homes and their businesses. And we're going to be talking about things like that, but I just really want to share this with you and show you a little bit of a trip. And I'm not doing this to brag. I'm not. I want to share this with you, because sharing is fun, and it's fun in a way, not to brag about things, but some people will never get a chance to do this. A lot of people will. Some people may take these pictures or things that we're talking about and they put them up on their inspiration board or whatever they call it today, and be able to take these and say, oh, that's what I want to do. And that's what we did. And we were able to do this. So let's start off on just taking it. My wife put this map together, and, to show some of the places. And I'll kind of walk through real quick here with you, on how we did this and make sure I got my right video here. So here's the map of where we went. Over on the right hand side here, this is my wife putting together all the places. So from West Palm, we went to Manhattan. We took a cruise to Nova Scotia, to Iceland. You can see up over here, Iceland there, beautiful, beautiful place in Iceland. Just gorgeous. Once you got outside the city, and into the outbounds areas and what, just absolutely beautiful. Staying in Nova Scotia, that was really nice. Nova Scotia, learned a lot in there, so that was really cool. Then we took the cruise over, went into Amsterdam, and I have to read through this because I remember, Brussels. Then went to Paris, just a quick stop. And then the Paris portion when we stopped there, it was like on the outskirts here. We didn't actually go all the way into Paris, but the cruise ship put that here, and then we went up in here to Southampton is where we stopped. Now we stayed. All these other places were just 1 day stops because we were on a cruise ship. But when we landed here in Southampton, we actually stayed in London for about 26 days. And we had met some people a year ago in Jamaica, and they lived in Yorkshire. So we met in York, and they met up with us, and we spent 2 days with them. And they brought us to the best fish that you could find. We went to afternoon tea with them, which I never do. I mean, you think afternoon tea, and you could sip the tea with the queen, but they bring out these huge layered things with just all kinds of food and junk and all kinds of other stuff like that. And I didn't realize it. I thought it was just go and have tea. So it was fun, and my wife enjoyed it. It was more for her. But of course, when they brought the sandwiches out, it was for me. I mean, you got to fill the belly up. But it was fun. So we stayed up in there. We went to Whitby. Whitby is a place, and if you ever watched Harry Potter, there's sections where the kids are coming in on the trains, and Hagrid's walking over this bridge, and that's the place, Whitby, where the train was there and the bridge, and it was just really cool to see that stuff. So from there, Whitby went to London. We stayed. In Bedford, and that was where my wife, in the 1500s, she has a grandfather there who actually created a lot of stuff there, Sir William Harper, and they got trusts in schools, so that was really cool. We went and hung down. We went and hung down in Paris for a little bit because of Disney. My wife wanted to go to Disney there. Not a fan of Paris. We were there about 3 weeks before the Olympics, but just not a fan. Just I didn't. There was a couple of really pretty spots, but overall, if I had to skip it, I would. So we went there. We went back up into London. Took a cruise ship. The cruise ship brought us around into different places in Spain, Vigo, Spain, Lisbon, Cadiz, Malaga, Palma. Bees. So we went all over into here, Barcelona, and then from Barcelona we went back into France. Then we went into Italy, Livorno, Italy. Okay, so we stayed in Italy. We came back to Italy later on, but we went to Livorno, and even when we came back to all these places in Italy, Venice, Naples, just all these places. Livorno, a little restaurant on the side in the outside area, absolute best pasta I've ever had in my life. Even all these other places in Italy, nothing compared to Livorno where we had the pasta on the outside. Just absolutely beautiful. The bolognese that they had, just amazing. So from there we went over to Athens. We stayed in Athens for about 18 days. Not a fan of Athens. The structures, what do they call them? Not the cathedrals, but the what do they call those? Acropolis. There you go. I didn't think of the Acropolis is up there. They're nice, but it's just the rest of Athens. Just it's. I hate to say it. I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but it just wasn't a pretty place. The hotel we were in was really nice. The restaurant, the pool at the top, and it got to overlook the Acropolis and whatnot, but just not a fan. So we stayed there for a while, and it was 106 degrees while we were there. So we left Florida to find better weather, and we ended up in Greece at 106 degrees at like 30% humidity. Yeah, not fun. And we went to some places. Here is probably one of our most favorite places that we went, Santorini, Greece. Just an island out there in the middle of nowhere. I got a couple of pictures for you. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful place. And I'll tell you a quick story about a little catastrophe that happened there. So from there, we went back over to Italy. We hung out in Italy for a while. Went to a bunch of different places. We were there for about 13 days. And our main reason for going to Italy was to come down to a place here. And I don't know if you can see that name there, but there's a town in Calabria down in southern Italy called, that is same as my last name. They pronounce it Platania. Um, but here in the U.S. we call it Platania, but Platania was how they pronounced it. But that's exactly. And I'll tell you a little bit about what happened when we went there. Absolutely beautiful. So traveled around, took some more cruise ships. Now, in between these spots, we'd go and stay a little bit, but then we'd take a cruise ship back to another place. So we cruised there. Overall, I think we had about five or six cruises we took. So left Italy, Rome, went back over and around into London, and then we went up into Ireland, which a couple of different places, Dublin, Belfast, and then Killybegs. Just absolutely. I mean, we went to a pub here in Ireland that was like from 1196, and I'm not a bit. I don't drink Guinness in the U.S. But of course, you go to Ireland. What are the two things? If you like to drink, what are the two things? Guinness and Irish whiskey. Well, I had them pour me a Guinness, and like I said, I'm not a big beer drinker anyway, but I tell you, if I had Guinness like they had in Ireland every day here, I would drink it. It was absolutely amazing. It's like mud here in the U.S. It's like champagne in Ireland. It was beautiful. But Killybegs, beautiful, just lush green acres of grass and then just these little houses in the middle. Just absolutely beautiful place. From there, we went back over to a couple places over here. We were supposed to stop at St. John's, but the weather was too bad. We went to a little town called St. Pierre, which was really, really cool. Just a tiny little town, not much there. Then we stayed at some places here in the U.S., New Hampshire, Connecticut. We went to Maine, up here in Portland, Maine, and went there. Back to New York, and then we dropped a bunch of people off, and then we picked up some more people and ended up going down to Bermuda. And we stayed at Bermuda for 3 days. So started here in Hamilton, then for 2 days, then went up to St. George for a day and stayed there. I got a beautiful picture of a place that we had in Bermuda. And we had a private tour, and we walked all the back beaches, and the guy brought us to all these back hidden little tiny beaches that were just absolutely gorgeous. If Bermuda wasn't so expensive to stay, I mean, it's almost more expensive than Hawaii. I mean, it'd definitely be a place that we would consider. Then we went back to New York, and now at that time of year, which is about September, in Nashville, we go every year. There's some places. There's the Songwriters Music Award, and now recently the People's Choice CMA Award, Country Music Award. So we go there, and we like to see a lot of concerts that time of year. So we ended up, everything worked out perfect. Well, I shouldn't say it worked out perfect. My wife planned it perfectly. She's amazing when it comes to that stuff. And we went from New York, and we stayed in Nashville. We stayed in Nashville in an Airbnb for 30 days. And it was great. Aunt and uncle came over to visit us, but we hung out. The Songwriters Awards there are amazing because you get to see the people behind these big, huge pop songs that are out there. The Jelly Roll and the Kelsey Ballerini and Lainey Wilsons and all the people that wrote these songs with them or without them, and they gave them to sing. It's just amazing hearing the stories behind them and how they do it. So we love going to the Songwriters Award, and that's at the Ryman and the Grand Ole Opry is the CMA, and I think the Ryman was the Songwriters Award. I get them mixed up, one or the other, but they're there in Nashville. If I ask my wife, she'd know right away. Me, I'm a guy. And then we came back to Florida, and we ended up making it back right before the big hurricane that came over here from Mexico came across, and everything worked out fine. But we actually came back a day early so we could get everything prepped up and whatnot. But just an absolute amazing vacation. Couple quick pictures that I have here. This is Santorini, overlooking off the cliff here. Here's the cruise ship, Norwegian Cruise Lines, that we were on. But is that beautiful? I mean, just gorgeous. And it's like the whole Santorini, Greece is just up off of just hundreds of feet. As you can see, this is pretty much all that you see is just up off of this like that. And you can only take shuttle bus or little boats back and forth off but you can't dock anywhere in here. But look right here. This is a stairs. Look down here at the bottom left-hand corner. This is a stairway that goes from the very bottom of Santorini all the way up to the top. It's a mile and a half long, about 800 steps, and the steps are long. They're like 2 to 3 feet wide. So it's not just like a little step like in your house. You step down, step down. I mean, you step, you walk a few feet, you step, you walk a few feet. Um, well, they take donkeys and they walk donkeys up and down those stairs for tourists to, take them to up or they take them down. I'm going to tell you a story about that in a few minutes here. Um, so just absolutely beautiful place. Loved it. Next was that's Santorini as well. And if you ever seen the pictures, advertising whatnot, the blue domes, and my wife Heather, she wanted to go and see all these blue domes, and that's one of the places. And you could definitely tell that I've been on a cruise ship with all you can eat and all you can drink. My cheeks look like I got nuts, and I'm just puffed out. Plus, we were walking all day long. It was like 100 degrees out. That's not good for a fat man. So, next one here. Okay, so here is Bermuda. This is a cave in Bermuda, and this just blew my mind. This right here is an opening, and that's the ocean. It's an opening that goes down, and people actually swim up in these and walk up into these caves. And this opens up just when you walk through, and this is not just a little spot. This is a huge area in Bermuda that you do this, and it's absolutely gorgeous. We took a private tour. This guy brought us all over the place and showed us these things, but just amazing the stuff that you see. This next one, okay. So this is the town in Italy, southern Italy, Calabria, and this is called Platania. And this is what the town looks like. And this is what it is. It's just this long street. There's two streets, one here, one on the other side. There's two streets, just tiny little town. There's like a little over 1,300 people that live in this little town. And, we purposely wanted to go there. We stayed in a little hotel down in La Menza, which is down about 14 miles south of Platania. And this was the pub there. And I just thought it was funny how they spelled it, pub, and we're overlooking a thing. But when we went there and people found out what our last name was, they actually treated us like royalty. I mean, it brought us all over. They actually have their own winery there. Of course, I got a couple bottles of wine. I brought one of the bottles back home with me. But this is the heritage, and if it's way in the past is where our family originated from. And when you're in Platania and you overlook the mountain, you see an area in Sicily, and it's called. Hold on, let me find out here for you. It was. Hold on here. Catania. There you go. So from Platania, you can overlook and see this huge volcanic mountain that's out there, and Catania. And Catania is where my most recent family came from, but a little farther back for Platania. So it was just really fun. We had a great time, just exploring the different things and seeing it. And here's a picture of us. I want to say, I don't know if we were on the cruise ship. Yeah, we had to be on the cruise ship because it looked like we're all showered and changed. We probably just came back from the Santorini, and we're on the cruise ship overlooking my beautiful bride there, and we love cruising. Just absolutely love cruising. We have a great time with it. Because we get to stop at different places and see what we like, and then later on we can come back and spend more time. But also being able to spend one day allows us to, like Athens. If I had flown to Athens and had to spend 30 days there and spend all the money to fly and whatnot, I'd be very disappointed. Luckily, we did spend 18 days there, but I mean, at least I didn't fly over and spend. So that's the other part of the cruising is you get to stop places and see what you like and what you don't like. and then you can invest in going back. So anyway, so enough of my trip, enough of that stuff. Let's talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing at ProCalcs University. We're really going to be kicking these videos up a notch. And what I mean by that is I really want to dig in. I don't want to have these huge long videos. So we're going to break some of these topics up into smaller, maybe 15-minute, if that, and really make sure that we're educating folks. Now, we're not only looking to help educate homeowners. Obviously, that is our primary because they have the least amount of opportunity to get the information except on the internet. We also want to be able to educate architects and builders to help them better understand. Because, and I'm not putting HVAC companies down. I'm not. I was in the no, I am. I ran my own HVAC company. I worked for a lot of HVAC companies. I dealt with them in their business, and I see what happens in a lot of these HVAC companies. And in a sense, it's their fault, but it's not their fault. It's they continue to do what they were taught years ago, and a lot of them, probably a good 90+% of them, just stick with that. They don't change. Now, some of the better companies, they're constantly looking at changing and educating themselves, because just like everything else in this world, we learn. The earth is not flat anymore. We've learned that. There's a lot of things that we thought were true, but if you don't keep up with the times and educate yourself, you're going to fall behind in the people that you deal with. Now, you think about it. If I know nothing about a topic and I come across somebody who knows about 5 paragraphs of a topic, to me, that person can make themselves sound intelligent because I know nothing about it and they know a tiny bit about it. But you always have to question where that information comes from. And I catch myself all the time. And that was the great thing about being in business, is when I would teach people and somebody would ask me a question, because I was so complacent in giving the same answers and time has changed, that I wouldn't think to double check myself. But then when somebody would ask me a question about the statement that I just made, if I couldn't respond to them, that told me that I didn't know enough about the topic. And then I would go and research and I would learn and I would educate and I'd pull the books out and I'd find out that I was either wrong. Yep, I'm admitting that I can make mistakes. There's a lot of people that can't, but I would find out that I was wrong about something, or that I wasn't detailed enough, or there could have been a better way. So that's the thing about with homeowners is that we want to be able to give them the education. I tease my wife about things where she tells me these things. I'm like, would you see that on Facebook? And she's like, yeah. And it's like, okay, well, you can't believe everything, especially after the past couple of years. You can't believe everything that you hear see on the internet or see in the social media posts or whatnot. You have to dig a little deeper. Don't accept everything at face value. So that's what we're here to do. But we can only do it. We want to hear your questions and your comments. So when you're watching this video, if you have a topic that you want to learn about, like we had some listeners that sent us some emails and they want to talk about different methods for duct cleaning. And the other one was a video on the impact of moisture intrusion in the home. And those are things that we want to hear from you folks so that we can make sure that the stuff that we're teaching and educating is the stuff that you want to hear. So make sure in the comments below, obviously, first off, you want to click that subscribe button. You want to click the thumbs up because somewhere in the infinite universe, there's an algorithm that says, hey, if you get a lot of thumbs up, we'll put you higher up on the thing. If we've earned it, give us a thumbs up. If we haven't, tell me why we haven't earned it at the bottom, and we're going to make some changes to make that happen. We're also going to be diving a little bit deeper into that. We also have created some training courses. So a lot of the information we talk about, we're going to have some more in-depth training courses for those topics. So we're not going to tell you everything, but we're going to give you some great points, and then we're going to refer you. Our training courses are set up to be for homeowners, also set up to be for architects, HVAC companies, builders. So it's not just, well, don't watch the video because it's, you're not going to be an HVAC person. We're going to present them so that homeowners can still gather the correct information that they need when making a decision. And it's not just about buying your air conditioning. We're going to be talking about things that help you in the construction. And now all of them lead up to the benefits with air conditioning, but we want to make sure that we help educate you with other things like windows and types of insulation and things of that nature. So they're very important. The other thing we're going to start doing is we have access to a lot of the industry's top minds and new products and new things coming out. So we are also going to start on this channel for now. We're going to have the ProCalcs podcast, ProCalcs University podcast, where we're going to be interviewing industry leaders in different things. Like there's a product called AeroSeal that we're going to be talking to some people. There's another product called AREA, and we're going to be interviewing one of their chief engineers there. And we're going to be talking about a lot of people, like some representatives from Lennox Air Conditioning, who was just recently combined with Samsung. And we're going to be talking a lot to these people and help educate them. So if you have questions about, or you have somebody you'd like us to try to interview. Now remember, I'm not well known, so you can't ask me if I can get a one-on-one interview with Donald Trump or something like that, or Biden. I can't do that, but I might have the opportunity to find people. So if you tell me a topic, then I might be able to find somebody in the industry that could help answer those questions. So exciting times. Dana is our COO, has been doing an amazing job along with Ashley, who's in charge of the business development, and Richard, who is in charge of our complete design team. They've just been amazing on helping to put everything together and really organize this. But we're going to kick this up a notch. So folks, don't forget to click that subscribe button, click the thumbs up. Let us know what you think about the comments, about the video, anything at all, things that you want us to talk about coming up. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day, folks.